How are things going in Colorado?
Oh, I'm enjoying it. We've
Um,
been staying home, staying safe, and, not dealing with the public. How about you?
Things are pretty good. It's given us a new opportunity to do things just like this and have face-to-face conversations, which I'm not sure why we weren't doing otherwise. Sometimes something like this throughout the world gives us all an opportunity to pivot our business, and this is one way that we decided we were going to. I was going to pivot this business, so it has turned out to be really fun because I'm talking to people that otherwise, they're either customers or people that have come across us through Instagram or any other social channel. So it's really fun to have an opportunity to talk to anybody and everybody who's involved in this culture that we call the redhead culture.
Ah, yes, our very own breed.
That's right. So yesterday, not yesterday, I guess 4 or 5 days ago now, we it was interesting. I sent a message to you, I think, and you came back and said, "Hey, I bought one of your shirts at a ginger festival," and I'm like, "What? This is so cool." And so that would have been the very first festival that we had our shirts at in Colorado. And I can't remember what it was called now, but I do remember the festival quite well because it was at a time when I was just really getting excited about launching the business, and all these things were happening, and somebody agreed to take my clothes in for that particular period of time, and it was awesome. And now, if I'm not mistaken, there is a picture of you on my Instagram wearing that shirt. I remember now. There, see, it's all coming back to me now. So you've been wearing this shirt loud and proud, I guess, is what you've been saying.
Yeah, I am an authentic ginger. I come from a family of gingers.
Amazing. How many in your family?
So in this generation, we have two, well, no, we have three tops and then two or three daywalkers.
Three tops and two daywalkers. Please explain that.
So we have three of us that have our hair on top of our head.
Yes.
So one boy, two girls, including myself.
Yep.
And then we have what we call daywalkers,
Yes.
where on top they're like a dusty color or something that, people don't even think of. But when they grow out their beard, it's all red.
Oh, okay. So that would probably be like me if I grew my beard all the way out. I'd probably be like, it's like a rusty color. So I don't think I can call myself an authentic ginger, but my beard does come rusty when it comes
Well, we call them daywalkers because they don't burn like we do.
out. Nice. All right. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. So I never did. Obviously, I've never met you before. But what do you do? What's your story?
Oh, it's a very interesting one. But so when I went to the festival, it was called Redheads Unite.
Yes. Right. Right.
And the whole thing was for, raising awareness and preventing human trafficking.
Right.
Well, at the time, there was a studio open called Rocky Mountain Self Defense, and I was one of the instructors there. So
Yep.
I was at the festival teaching self defense to women and to men so you know, they wouldn't be a part of the statistics.
Right. So I was going to ask you. So now I'm curious because I really want to know. Uh, Back in the festival Redheads Unite in Colorado, you came across a booth or you came across a table and you saw the shirt for the first time, or whatever you did. You saw something. What drew you to it?
So
And
I was looking at the booth just because we had downtime more than we expected,
right.
and I saw I saw most of the other booth. It was actually by a friend of mine who I model for her
Okay.
because I also do modeling for funsies. I do runway shows and charity work and things like that.
Well, yeah.
And she does a lot of charity work for tons of different causes. Maybe you remember her name, Colette Sussman. She does photographs to save theaters, to help raise awareness for human trafficking, to all kinds of stuff.
Right. Right. That's cool.
And so your stuff actually happened to be by her pictures, which
Hmm.
I was going through because I had been one of her mediums for it. And then I saw authentic. That was the first word I saw.
Yeah.
And I'm like, authentic what?
Yeah.
And so I pulled, because the way it was folded, the first thing I just saw was authentic. So I pulled up one of the shirts and it said authentic ginger. And I called over my now fiance, at the time just my boyfriend, and I called him over. I said, I have a mighty need. I am a natural ginger. I love this. And I love the fact that when we were little, we got made fun of for being redheads, and now everybody wants to be a redhead.
I'm glad you saw it that way, because it's what we've been known to do since then, is to really push this message of, being authentic, be ginger, be proud. That's kind of our mantra, if you will. So take me back to, you mentioned about being a kid and stuff like that. Take me back a little ways. What was it? And were you in Colorado? Where were you living?
Oh no, I'm born and raised fifth generation Coloradan. Like,
Okay.
we're here.
Embedded. So what was life
Right.
growing up for you?
So, my grandma was also a redhead, because it kind of skips a generation.
Right.
And she had gorgeous, long, almost Rapunzel hair.
Mhm.
Um, and I never, like, my family was very adamant, you're not allowed to cut your hair, you can't dye your hair, you know, there was a whole thing. So at a very young age, I was basically told either deal with this and be proud of it, or just be stuck with it.
Right.
But when I went out into the world, they weren't so loud and proud about being a redhead. I had a redhead hating club when I was a little kid.
Wow.
I was at a daycare, and all the other kids made a redhead hating club because, there was one little me.
Mhm.
And then only two kids kind of separated after a little while. They're like, hey, this feels kind of mean, so we're just going to go hang out with her,
Wow.
which was really nice. But I got called the devil because I had red hair.
Right.
Um, and when I was young, that really hurt my feelings because I'm like, but I'm not evil. I'm a good person.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
would you do that? Now I'm older and people are like, you're the devil. I'm like, damn right.
Yeah, I am. That's right. I'm proud of it. Did you find that as you grew up, you were just able to understand, and accept what was coming your way?
Um, I notice you still get bullied, but it switches when you're a female.
Okay,
Is
interesting.
when you grow up, you're no longer bullied, you are fetishized. So you become a fetish.
What?
I
Really?
wish I was I really wish I was kidding. I'm not. It's not a joke. Preparing you now for your girls.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Um, but instead of picking on us and treating us like we're demons, kind of, they treat us like these sex symbols. These, oh, I've always wanted to hook up with a redhead. I kid you not, one of the common things that every redhead has heard more than once in her life is, do the carpets match the drapes?
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
I-
I've heard this a few times too. There's a fascination behind that.
Yep. And it's their creepy way of asking, are you a natural redhead?
Right. Right. Right.
And the jokes are numerous. Um, so at first I was upset because I felt like people were treating me like I was evil.
Yeah.
And then I grew up even more, and it took me a little while to realize that they were just making me now basically a sex toy in their mind, that I
Mhm.
was no longer a person, I was a sex toy.
Yeah.
And then after I went through that phase, I realized that the more I gave in and, got upset or things like that, the more power I gave to these other people.
Right. Exactly.
So instead, I started learning ginger jokes and started calling myself a ginger, and didn't care when other people called me a ginger, because I realized because they thought it was a derogatory term. They're like, oh, you're just a ginger. And I'm like, oh no, whatever shall I do?
So, okay. So let's talk about this for a second. Um, the word ginger versus the word redhead. At what point, if any, did you not like the word ginger?
Um, I really didn't have issue with it. Um, being called ginger was never a problem for me. It
Okay.
was funny though when people wanted it to be a problem. They're like, "Well, you should be offended." I'm like, "No, I should be offended at the fact that they're trying to treat me basically like something you buy in a shop.
Right.
I'm not offended by a word."
Right. Right. Exactly.
And I love Tim Mitchum's have you heard his song?
I have. Yeah. Many times. Yeah.
I love that one so
Yeah.
much. At the same time, I'm like, I don't care if you call me that.
Right. Exactly. You know, it's really funny. The amount of people that ask me, "Have you seen Tim Mitchell's video?" I couldn't even count on. I mean, it's hundreds and hundreds of times. Yeah, hundreds of times. One of the first things a lot of people say.
Well, and it's because it's awesome. And for people in the redhead culture, people don't understand that it really is a culture.
I love the fact that you call it a culture as well.
Well, there are redheads in different races in different areas. I mean, we're a small minority. We don't come up a lot, but we come in all different colors. We come in all different shapes.
Yeah.
And I noticed that it doesn't matter what culture you're born into. If you are born a redhead, you are definitely put to the side either as this weird mantle or below.
You know, as far as for what I can tell, like you're super proud, like you're super energetic, and all this energy comes out of you, you know, with being redhead and all this kind of fun stuff. But the question I have for you is like, what what are you telling? What are you telling, or what would you be telling, you know, adolescents, you know, kids in their teens, you know, that have red hair that are, you know, perhaps seemingly having some issues, or you know, what do you say to people to give them some inspiration?
It depends on the kid. I mean, that's one thing that every ginger goes on a different path. Some gingers want to hide it. I know my cousin did. She actually did for a little bit. She dyed her hair. Um, I know some people are loud and proud.
Yeah.
Um, but the biggest thing that I don't think a lot of people realize is be you.
Right.
If you feel you need to diet and see what that feels like to be like everybody else, I'm not going to stop you.
Hmm.
Feel the way that you feel, but don't ever allow the rest of the world to change who you are.
Right.
If you want to change your appearance a little bit to just see what it is, go for it. I'm
Yeah.
not going to stop you. But at the end of the day, if you cannot look yourself in the mirror, no matter your hair color, no matter your skin color, eye color, whatever it is, if you
Mhm.
cannot look at yourself in the mirror at the end of the day and go, I'm okay, you don't even have to be like, I'm fabulous. You just,
Right.
I'm okay. Then it's not about your appearance, it's about who you are on the inside.
Right. That's fantastic.
So that's the biggest thing is it's not about, I mean, I love my hair color. I will always love my hair color, but it's not about that. It's not about your hair color or what culture you're a part of, and that's for anybody.
It's
It's
how you,
about, yeah, can you look at yourself in the mirror at the end of the day and be okay?
I think that's a great spot to end on. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
Awesome. But
Yeah.
this was fun.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brittany. And yeah, I we'll be chatting again very soon. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
All
Have
right.
a good one.
Take care. You too. Bye bye.
Bye.